Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome, and I want to say a Merry Christmas to you and a prosperous New Year. For all my old subscribers, thank you so much for joining me. Please click on the notification bell to get notified whenever I drop any video here on YouTube. And for those that are new here, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching my videos. Please click the subscription button to get notified whenever I drop any video. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you all. Thank you. Okay, today we'll be discussing a very important topic. Very important topic that a lot of people don't really dwell much on it, and it's about the choices for child delivery. And this is for first time mom and people who are considering different birth options. I know this video will be very important to you. Please stay tuned and we will get there together. Okay, we'll be talking about the options for delivery. We have the vaginal birth, we have C-section, and we have an option for epidural. And I'll be talking briefly on this three. Then I would tell you in depth about the options I experienced during the birth of my two children. And if you find it very important and useful to you, please you can opt for any option of your choice. And by the grace of God, they are all safe. So first, I'll be talking about vaginal birth. Vaginal birth is about after you've been pregnant for about 9 months, and you go through your normal contraction and you deliver your baby through the vagina. That's vaginal birth. And cesarean section is about delivering your baby via an operation. So then an epidural process. It can also go both ways. You can also need an epidural for a normal delivery in situations whereby probably you don't want to feel much of the pains from the contraction. Epidural can make it a little bit easier for you, reduce the pain, and you most likely not even know that your contractions are going on, and before you know it, your baby is here. While in the case of a cesarean section, if for example you've already opted for an epidural before, and from the look of things, maybe your pelvic is not open enough and the baby may be difficult for the baby to come out due to some other reasons, they might decide to opt for a cesarean section. At that point, they don't need to give you any form of anesthesia anymore to numb your lower limb so you don't get to feel the pain during the C-section, because the epidural has already taken that part. The epidural has already made that part a bit numb, so they'll just take you straight to the theater and help the baby out. So epidural go both ways, and it could either be for vaginal delivery or for cesarean section. So about my experience, as you know, I'm a new mom. I have a baby of 1 month and 3 weeks old, and she's a baby girl. Yeah, we had her in the month of November, early November actually. So this is December, and we're preparing for the new year. So about my options for vaginal birth and the cesarean section. Initially, taking me back to when I first had my first child, my son, and everything was smooth after the the whole pregnancy process. He was born full term. Full term means anything from 37 weeks. Anything after 37 weeks is full term. So anything before 37 weeks is preterm, or should I say premature. So he was born full term. So got to 39 weeks and 2 days. I was new, like some of us here. I was new to the whole pregnancy thing, and I didn't really know, as part of the fact that I read online about signs of pregnancy and when you're in labor and all of that. Some persons, their water breaks. Some persons, they be in extreme labor. I mean, their contraction becomes very serious before before their water would break. Some persons, their water may not even break. They won't get to the hospital to break the water by themselves, but the birth attendant will even be the one to break the water. Why some persons will go through extreme contractions. In my case, none of that happened. I was not in any extreme. I didn't go through any extreme contraction. As a matter of fact, I was dancing. I mean, in my first pregnancy, I was dancing and just preparing for the whole excitement thing. But in my head, I was already imagining, like, what is it going to look like? What is this whole birth thing going to be? Is it going to be painful? Is it going to be difficult? As we grow up, we've heard about different gist about how, childbirth is. Some person gives you terrifying, stories like it's difficult, it's stressful, it's this, it's that. I won't lie to you. It's not really easy, but it is easy. And you can do it. If every other mothers out there have done it, trust me, you can do it. So let's go to fast forward to when I wanted to go to the hospital. So I carried myself into the bathroom because I was kind of pressed. I was pressed and I was like, oh, let me go and ease myself and all of that. I feel a bit free because I was playing some music and I was dancing to it. So I was eager to rush and free myself and come back and continue what I was doing. So I got to the bathroom and I noticed I started having this spotty discharge. I mean, some of us will understand it, when the baby is coming already, and about the part that is housing the uterus beneath it, that's that this seal, let me put it that way, the seal that kind of cover the vagina, when it breaks, you have some kind of discharge, it's kind of brownish. So I saw that and I was scared, like, what's going on? Oh my god. I was tensed, very tense actually. So I quickly called my nurse, like, hey, I don't understand what I'm seeing. What I know online is what I've seen and what they've been taught in the antenatal classes was I was going to see water, I'm going to see either contractions or maybe my water would break. And right now my water didn't break and I'm not having any contraction, though I started feeling slight pains. And she was like, are you sure? Okay, wait for another 1 hour. If the pain increases and the discharge keep coming, you need to come to the hospital immediately. So I waited. I was just I was calm. So I waited for another 1 hour. The pain continued. I mean, the pain started progressing from 20 minutes interval. It comes for about 10 minutes interval. From 10 minutes comes about 5 minutes interval. I was like, oh my god, I don't think I can take this anymore. I started feeling wet, not literally like a water broke. Like I was feeling more of the discharge. So I took my bag and went to the hospital myself. And lo and behold, I wasn't dilating at that time, but I was having serious contractions. So for some of you that may be wondering or may be in that situation and say, I don't know if I'm in labor and my water didn't break like I expect it to break, or I'm not having serious contractions that people will cry and shout like what you see in Hollywood or in the movies. So there are different signs that will let you know you're in labor. Sometimes it can be that discharge, sometimes it could be a water break, sometimes it could be an extreme or serious contraction. So in my case, I was having mild contraction before I got to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, it was serious and it continued progressing. And at about 5 hours into the whole contraction thing, I was still 4 cm dilated. It didn't progress. So that was how it continued till the next morning. So there about, let's say, 10 hours after the whole contraction process started. Then I opted for a cesarean section after the third day because I was in labor for about 2 days and I opted for a cesarean section. So now this brings us to the topic that I'll be discussing, the difference between cesarean section and vaginal delivery. So we'll go with the benefit first before we talk about the side effects, or should we say we'll go with the pros before we talk about the cons of vaginal delivery. For the pros of vaginal delivery, first is that you heal on time. It gives you very fast healing. After the vaginal delivery, you'll be able to stand up from your bed immediately. That's number one. If you get to hospital, they will tell you stand up and freshen up, have a bath, clean up. You can clean up, you can sit and you can eat, you can talk to friends and family, you can even hold your baby, you can bond immediately after childbirth with your baby from a vaginal delivery. And also it gives you this calmness, at that particular time. The Not that there is no pain from the delivery process, it's kind of mild and you're kind of cool, you know it's not so pain kind of thing. So you're relieved, you're stress free, and all the attention at that particular time could be focused on your baby. And even you have time relating with friends and family who came to see you, who are very happy about your childbirth. And also you'll be very happy too, because you are able to relate and do other things around you. You'll be able to you also be able to eat whatever you like. You're not restricted to a particular kind of food. You can eat whatever you like. You can your life just goes on. You can be comfortable to do whatever you want to do. You get. So vaginal delivery is actually very good. It's nice. It just help you. It's just like a continuation of your daily life. Okay, now the baby was there, now the baby's out, now life continues and all of that. So these are the pros of vaginal delivery. Now we talk about the cons. I mean the other. Actually, vaginal delivery is painful. No jokes. Yeah, it's painful because a whole lot of things are going on in your system. You have a child growing inside of you at that particular time. The child has grown to a particular size and needs to come out. So your system at that particular time needs to give way for that child to come out. And for your system to be able to expand, for the vagina to be able to expand and allow the child pass through and come out is a lot of process and is very painful. So because of that pain, many people don't really want to opt for it. Some people who don't have some people who have low tolerance to pain may not actually want to take that route. They prefer to go through a more easier childbirth process. So according to them, though I don't see any part of child process that is much easier than the other. It's just about how you choose to manage your life after childbirth. I mean your postpartum life after childbirth. So aside the fact that it is painful, you can also have what do I call stitches. For some persons who had a cut during their birth process. For example, persons who they need to cut some part of the vagina to pave way for the child to come out. You would have some cut around your vagina area, and this makes it a little bit difficult for you to squat. Take for example, if you need to ease yourself and bending down like squatting in the toilet to ease yourself is usually very painful. And sometimes the thought of thinking like, oh, I want to or I want to use the toilet, or I want to wee and any stuff of that. When you think about it, you wouldn't want to, ease yourself at that particular time. You prefer to just, no, I don't want to go through the pain at that time. So these are the pros of vaginal birth. I mean, these are the cons of vaginal birth. Now, let's go to C-section. All right, about C-section. For C-section, the pros. Okay, number one of the pros is that one, there is no contraction. Yes, you don't actually wait to fall into labor before you go for the C-section. You can do it. It's called the planned cesarean section. You can decide to plan for your cesarean section and say, I want to have a cesarean section at this particular date and time. And you go there, they give you the anesthesia. It makes your lower limb, it kind of numb your lower limb, and they bring the baby out in less than 30 minutes, 35 minutes. You're out of, or let me say 40 minutes maximum. You're out of the theater, and you can hold your baby, you can smile, you can laugh and all of that. So you're not going through any form of the contraction, the pain. you know. I've been in the vaginal birth delivery situation before, and in cesarean section, so both of them actually I know the feeling. So for cesarean section, the pro is that you don't need to go through any form of contraction, like you don't need to literally go through any form of pain before you bring the baby out. And the second pro, like I just said, is that it is super fast. 40 minutes, 35 minutes, you're out of the labor ward, you're out of the theater, and you can relate with family and friends. So we'll go to the cons of cesarean section. And the cons of cesarean section are: one, it takes time to heal, unlike vaginal birth, which you can, continue your daily life. You can, for example, you can singe immediately. You can wear your postpartum belt to help you, guide your stomach and all of that. Though it's not advisable to start immediately, or you need to wait for some time. So you can start wearing it after a couple of weeks to help you, reduce your stomach from that saggy part after birth. Then for cesarean section, it takes time to heal because, of course, you just had a major surgery where in a particular part of your stomach, the lower part of your abdomen. So it takes time to heal, and that healing process is usually very painful. This is the reason why most people do not want to opt for a cesarean section. But if it is a life-threatening situation, if that's the only option, please go for it, because your life and your baby's life are very important and is worth saving. Okay. And for those that are very intolerant with pains, please go for a cesarean section. It will help you. The only cons to cesarean section is that it takes time to heal, unlike vaginal birth. And the pain that comes with it, I'll tell you my experience. When I had my cesarean section, I at first, when you come out, you won't stand up immediately because the anesthesia needs to leave, and when the anesthesia leaves, you would have to stand up from the bed for the first time. And trust me, it is not easy. It's very painful. And sometimes when you lie down in the bed and getting up in the morning, or when you want to get up to wee and all of that, there's this, our body has muscles in different areas. So, stretching them when you want to get up and sit down, lie down, go into that sitting and lying position is usually very painful. And it takes about 2 weeks for you to stop feeling that pain. Not that the pain will go away totally, for it to be a little bit mild. I mean, to have healed a little bit. And it takes for about 3 months for your C-section scar to heal totally. I mean, it can heal from the surface, but internally it takes about 3 months for everything to heal totally. So because of that long healing process, people do not want to opt for a cesarean section because it's extremely painful and it takes time to heal. And another con of C-section is reduced movement. You'll not be able to move from place to place. For some persons that have low tolerance for pain, some persons will be confined in their bed for about a week till they get a bit some sort of freedom. While some persons about 2 weeks they're able to move around and all of that. So you have this reduced movement, and because of the pain you're going through, you might not be able to bond well with your child at that particular time, because all that's going on in your head is the pain I'm going through and all of that. So relating with family at that particular time, anybody who comes to see you will just know that you're not your normal self, and so it's actually painful. Another con of C-section is that you have limited food you can eat. It's advisable that you eat liquid food. I mean, not liquid per se, but food that are very not heavy and light, so that it will be easy for you to pass them in case you want to stool, because it's common, or should I say it's common, or should I say is known that when you've had a C-section, there's every possibility that you'll be passing hard stool, and this will damage your intestine. So it's advisable to eat soft food. And if you're not the kind of person that's used to soft food, they are already you're already confined to that particular food because of C-section. While if it's for vaginal birth, you can eat whatever you want and you'll be able to pass it normal. Like it's just like carrying on with your daily life. But for a C-section, you have to be careful of what you eat. I am a living witness to that. After my C-section, I was extremely hungry and I wanted to eat anything at all. Actually, the reason why I was hungry was I was starved the whole day before the C-section, and I was extremely very hungry. Extremely and very okay, all of them. I was hungry. So after the C-section, I started eating solid, liquid, anyone that comes because I just wanted to quench that hunger desire. And 3 days after the C-section, I was pressed. Like I felt like I want to use the toilet. I want to, poop, like stool, but I'll go to the toilet and I won't be able to find anything. It's hard and I can't even force it down because I'm still feeling pain. If I try to force it down, I'll be feeling pain at the cuts. So it was it was a very challenging time for me though. So second day I went there, third day, it was like 4 days. I literally couldn't do anything. And it dawned on me that probably the things I ate after the C-section, because apparently your system changed after the cut and everything, so it really affected me. And please, I would advise you, do not eat heavy food after C-section. So these are the cons and pros of C-section. And I want to tell you that both of them are actually very safe. For those of you that are considering a C-section, I know we have different mentality in our head about cesarean section and all of that. Some people believe it's from this, it's from that, it's not for the children of God, it's not this and that. Please, whatever childbirth procedures that would make you and your child be alive and healthy, please opt for it. Your life is important and that of your baby is important. So if you enjoy my video about the pros and cons of cesarean section and vaginal delivery, please click on the notification bell and subscribe to my channel so you can get more videos about maternal care, about pregnancy, postpartum care, and how you can nurse your toddler. Please subscribe to my channel and we'll talk more. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye.